Guys, do you feel a little guilty when you have casual sex, like you're doing something wrong? I got the answer for you. So I recently did a $200 coaching call, which there's a link in the description below if you'd like one of those. And the client told me that he was sort of feeling guilty when he had casual sex. So he really wanted to have casual sex and explore that side of himself and all of that good stuff, get some experience, but he was feeling sort of guilty each time, like he was doing something wrong. I said to him, you can do what I sort of do now when I have sex, and I've done this for the last couple of years. I will try not to have throwaway sex. In other words, I will try and have a good intent or a good intention when I go into casual sex. My mindset is usually, I want to have a good experience. I want her to have a good experience, and I want both of us to be better off for this experience. When you go into it with that mindset, rather than just, I want to get laid or I want to get another notch, it takes away, or at least it has for me, taken away a lot of that guilt that, I used to feel at the start as well. And I don't even think that guilt, when we feel that guilt, is a bad thing. I think that guilt is trying to tell us something. If you are someone that has a bit of guilt around casual sex, that's a beautiful opportunity for you to sit down and say, why do I have this guilt? What is this guilt trying to tell me? What is that voice inside me trying to tell me? And for a lot of us, that voice is basically trying to tell us, I want to make sure this is good for me, and I want to make sure this is good for the other person. Beautiful. How can we do that? And you can sort of write out your own list of ways, and I'll obviously cover and I'll give you a bunch of answers in this podcast of how I do it. But you can sort of write out a list of 15 different ways or 10 different ways or whatever, ways that you want to make sure that your sex is fulfilling to you and to her. Even if it's just casual sex, even if you're only friends with benefits with someone for 6 months, 3 months, a year, whatever, how can we make that a fulfilling experience for both of you? And at least again, for me, that took away a lot of that sort of guilt that I had. And that guilt for me was trying to tell me, Andy, you're not happy when you just stick your penis in a vagina and go, yay, my penis went in another vagina and that's it. Like, how is that fulfilling? Or at least it wasn't fulfilling for me for very long. At the start, it was exciting and new and novel. Oh my God, I got laid. I'm amazing. This is great. But that quickly kind of wore off, and I started feeling a little bit of that, guilt feeling, or that weird feeling of like, is this all there is to it? And that's kind of going to be my answer here. If you're feeling that sort of guilt around casual sex, my first suggestion to you would be, well, what are you doing with the casual sex? Is it literally just surface level, shallow casual sex? In which case, if you're not happy with that, if you're feeling guilty or like that's not enough for you, add a little bit more. Build some intimacy with the people that you're having casual sex with. Get to know them a little bit. Build something with them. And you can still be having casual sex with them, but you can build a great sexual repertoire with them. You can build a bunch of amazing sexual memories and memories outside the bedroom. You don't have to be fully committed to someone in like a hardcore relationship or marriage to do those things. The mindset, again, is I want to have a good experience through this thing. I want her to have a good experience. I want us to both learn and grow together, even if we keep it casual. And I want us both to be better off at the end of it. Again, that takes away so much of the guilt, because now it's not shallow. It's not casual sex and nothing else but casual sex. It's like at the end of this journey together, whether or not it's 3 months, 6 months, a month, a year, it doesn't really matter. At the end of that, we would have both grown and learned just a little bit. We would have moved even just 1% ahead. I had this mindset quite early on where I was like, what if my only mission is to just leave girls better than I found them? Like if they're just a tiny bit better after their experience with me, even if it's just, 3 months of casual sex, what if they're even just 0.1% better off for having that? And that was kind of what I put in my brain. And you can't always guarantee that will happen. It depends on the other person and how you connect and all of that. But just sort of having that in my mind was revolutionary. Like I will at least try to make sure that they have a good experience and they're better off afterwards. And myself as well, because you want to make sure that you're better off as well at the end of it. And that's why I say leave people better than you found them. Another thing that I will often tell women all the time is it's only fun if you're having fun. I want to make sure you're enjoying the casual sex. I want to make sure you're enjoying all of the intimacy and all of that sort of stuff. I want us both to be better. I've said to so many girls, or I've had it in my head with so many girls, my intention is to be super nice with them while I'm having casual sex. So again, I think when we have this guilt around casual sex, it's because we're looking at casual sex and saying, okay, I'm going to compartmentalize it, and all it's going to be is casual sex. We're not allowed to ask each other any questions about our life. We're not allowed to get to know each other. We're not allowed to give a shit about each other. We're definitely not allowed to have feelings. There's all these sort of notions around what casual sex is. And I think, and a lot of that is perpetuated by the media, by, dating apps like Tinder. And I love Tinder, obviously, but a lot of people have this mindset around Tinder where they're like, okay, I can't get feelings. It's got to be super surface level. It's got to be shallow. And then they wonder why it doesn't feel super fulfilling, because I think we as humans have this deep yearning for something a little more connected, something a little more, dare I say it, spiritual. You go and have a sexual experience, it can be a spiritual experience. And I think we as humans love that shit. We love connecting to other people. We love getting to know them. We love opening up and being vulnerable. But I think we've had this idea, or we've told ourselves this story, that casual sex, especially, dating apps and stuff like that, we've told ourselves that it has to be super surface level and shallow, and you can't get feelings in, you can't go, a little bit in, you can't be open, you can't be honest. And then we wonder why it doesn't feel as good, you know what I mean, compared to something a little deeper. And again, I say this in all of my goddamn content. None of this is me telling you what to do. If you're currently having casual sex and it is completely surface level and you're enjoying it, fucking amazing. I'm really happy for you. And if the other person is enjoying it, obviously I'm super happy for both of you. But it's just through my journey, through this, this sexual journey that I've been on for the last, 10 years. I mean, maybe you could say since I was like 18. I mean, what guy doesn't want to get laid? But I've really been focusing on this for the last 8 or so years. It's less of a focus now, but through this journey, I've just found when I look to those deeper reasons as to why I'm having sex, those deeper reasons like I want to connect to someone, I want to practice my honesty, I want to practice my vulnerability, I want to make sure they have a good time as best as I can. You can't always guarantee that, but I want to have a good time. I want us both to be better off at the end of it. Maybe we have some sort of spiritual experience, through tantric sex or BDSM. BDSM is a brilliant way to get to those sort of more spiritual sides of sex and psychology and intimacy and all of that. I've just found when I've gone for those deeper reasons, and most of my coaching clients too, eliminates all the guilt. Like, we're fucking happy with what we're doing because we're there for a reason rather than just, I want to get my dick wet. Even if you're someone who all you can think about right now is getting more sexual experience, like let's say you're a guy in your 30s and you're a virgin, and for the last 12 years you've told yourself a story that you're a loser because you haven't had sex, and like all you can focus on is having sex right now. Like you can't even think of any deeper reasons or anything like that. I would still say to you, why do you want to have sex? Like, why do you want to lose this virginity? It's not just, I have to lose it, I have to lose it, I have to lose it. Pause for half a second and ask yourself, why? Like, write a list of 20 reasons why, 20 deeper reasons why you want to do this. There might be an aspect or an element of self-love in there. Like, if I lose this, it would be a beautiful gift to myself because I get to experience something with another person. I get to do something I've always wanted to do. You could say it would be a beautiful self-improvement journey for you. Like, maybe you're a virgin because you don't know how to talk to other human beings, and part of you losing your virginity might require you to build up some of those social skills and practice that. That would be a beautiful reason. Like, I literally am doing this, or part of the benefit of doing this is that I will be better at talking and connecting with other human beings. Another reason might be like just the self-improvement aspects itself. Like, you might have to lose weight. If you're morbidly obese, that might be a big contributing factor to why you haven't had sex yet. So this journey of you losing your virginity will help you lose weight and love yourself and love who you see in the mirror and all of that. These are beautiful, deep reasons. There might be other things like, I've always felt like I'm missing out and I want to feel like I'm actually connected to the world and I'm doing something that other people are doing. That's a beautiful reason. So come up with the deeper reasons why you're doing it, and it gets rid of, replaces that feeling of like guilt and shallowness and all of that. It replaces it with intrinsic motivation, with love, with joy, with excitement, right? Rather than sitting there going, why do I feel guilty when I'm having casual sex? It's probably because you don't have deeper reasons why you're having casual sex. You're just doing it because you saw some bald fucking, retard on the internet. That's me. You're seeing some bald guy on the internet who's had a lot of sex and you've probably just gone, oh, fuck, I need to do that. There's another bald fucking, I won't call him a retard. There's another bald guy on the internet right now who's, in current culture, very fucking popular. I'm sure you can guess who I might be talking about, who focuses a lot on having sex and getting laid. Maybe you've just seen him and gone, oh fuck, I have to do what he's done. But you've never actually stopped to ask yourself, why? Like, why? Why do you want those things? Why do you want to have sex? Why do you want to make a lot of money? Why do you want to have a lot of friends? Why do you want to be cool? A lot of the time we have these goals, but we haven't actually asked ourselves why we have these goals. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have these goals. I want you to have whatever fucking goals you want to have. I think goals are beautiful. I think they're an amazing way of helping propel us forward towards something more, something greater, something amazing, something beautiful. But it's about knowing why you're doing these goals, why you're waking up in the morning and going to the gym, why you're going out there and grinding for 12 hours trying to make more money, why you're going out there and saying hello to women and, having 98% of them say no to you and finding that one or two that say yes. Like, why are you doing these things? That completely, like I said, eliminates all of that guilt or that like shame or that like questioning, that doubt of like, why am I doing this? Is this even benefiting me? It's like when you have those deeper intrinsic reasons, I did a video or an article. I did both. I did a video and an article on my website called How Getting Laid Makes You a Better Man. And it's not to say that every man has to go out there and get laid, but if you're someone that wants to get laid, which is what this video is for, but you feel guilty about it or you're worried that it's shallow, in that video and that article, I talked about all the deeper intrinsic reasons, how it makes you connect with other human beings, how it makes you more social, it gives you more love that you can then give to other people. All of those deeper intrinsic reasons mean that it is far easier for you to show up and do the work that it might take for you to improve your sex and dating life. And it helps you have resilience through those moments where maybe the person doesn't give you what you want. Lots of people call that rejection. I don't like the word rejection. I think it's a sort of negative, overused word. I prefer the word or the phrase, she just doesn't want what you want. We just want different things, but that's a separate video. So yeah, other things that you can sort of do I hinted at this before, other things you can do to move away from maybe that like guilt feeling and towards like happiness and joy and those deeper intrinsic reasons for why you're doing this. You can, like I said, have an intent that when you meet a woman or when you meet a person, and all of this applies to both genders, by the way, when you meet another human being for sex, you can sort of have the intention of, what if we just have a great time? Like, I want to make her feel amazing or him amazing. I want to make them feel, accepted. I want to make them feel hot. I want to make them feel sexy. I want to make them feel pleasure. I want to make them feel excitement and, like a roller coaster, like it's exciting. And then we have a slow moment and we catch our breath and then it's exciting again. Like I want to give them that roller coaster journey. I want to explore their body. I want to give them a good time. Those sort of deeper reasons. In other words, what I'm saying here is give value. This is something I talk about a lot on this channel, right? Like I'm here to give value to you. Because why? Not because I'm a wonderful, nice fucking person, but because it feels pretty fucking good for me when I give value to you guys and girls. It feels good. It feels really good for me in the bedroom to give another human being a wonderful, beautiful, incredible sexual and intimate experience. It feels really good for me. That's why I do it. Again, I don't do it because, I'm a nice person and I want her to have fun. No, I do it because it feels fucking good for me to give pleasure and excitement and value to someone else. And so if you have it in your head, what if I give value to this other person? And I'll be clear, give value to yourself as well. That's the gift of giving value, is that you're also giving to yourself and you're giving to someone else. Give to both simultaneously. But having this idea of giving value, I'm going to give them a good experience. I'm going to give them a listening ear sometimes. I'm going to give them empathy. I'm going to give them honesty. And you don't have to be perfect with any of this. I will say this a million times until the day that I die. We're not aiming for perfection. You don't have to be the king of giving value. If you're someone who's inexperienced with all of this, don't sit there and go, oh my God, I have to give value. How do I even do that? Like, fuck, but I don't have anything to give. Like, fuck, I don't even know what value I could give. Pause. You can get better at giving value over time. That's okay. Maybe just put it in your head. I will just focus on trying to have a nice time with her. That's giving value. I'll just do my best to have a nice time. And I'm really nervous and I don't know if I can even have a good time, but I'll try. Beautiful. That's giving some value. Other times what you can do is you can sort of have an intent when you go into sex of like, I want to see what my body is capable of. I want to see what her body is capable of, or his body, or whoever you're playing with. We want to explore some kinks together. We want to go deep on that stuff. That is another way of going deeper and sort of moving away from this like shallow sex. And again, there's nothing wrong with shallow sex. I'm just saying, and this video was for a coaching client who said, I feel like the sex I'm having is shallow and I don't like that. So if you're in that same boat, you can move away from that shallow sex by exploring your kinks and the other person's kinks. That is like deep in itself. Like literally you're saying, what stuff have you never tried and always been curious about? Let's try that. Like it's not a once in a lifetime opportunity, but for some people, it might be the first time they've ever sat down and had the opportunity to explore some stuff that might have been on their mind for their entire fucking life. That's deep. That's a reason, a big reason for you guys to meet up, every week or every couple of weeks or, a couple of times a week, whatever you want to do. Meet up and explore this shit together. And you have this secret little club, just you and the other person. Or if you're into, like group sex like I am, threesomes, you and both people or whatever, you get to meet up in this secret little club, secret little sex club, secret little kink club, and try all this different stuff. That's a beautiful, deep reason. That's beautiful. You're building trust, you're building intimacy, you're building understanding, you're building a non-judgmental environment, you're building communication skills because you have to communicate your kinks and their kinks. And so all of these are beautiful, deeper, intrinsic reasons why you're meeting up for sex. It's not just, oh, I want to get my dick wet. And she's like, oh, I want to get my pussy filled. It's something a little deeper than that. Other times you can put it in your head, especially if you're inexperienced, you can say, okay, this isn't just about me getting my dick wet. I want to learn sex. I want to get better. I want to be able to give my partner more pleasure or facilitate their pleasure. I want to be able to give myself more pleasure. I want to get over my performance anxiety, especially if you're a guy. If you're a woman, maybe it's I want to get over my insecurities around my body. That's a fucking beautiful reason to meet for casual sex, and this doesn't just apply to casual sex, or more like, I don't know, what would you call it? Committed sex, whatever you want to call that. But these are beautiful reasons to have casual sex. These are life-affirming, value-adding, self-improvement reasons for having casual sex. And now you're not just going, oh, let's have casual sex because I guess we saw it on a Netflix show and it was kind of sexy and let's do that. Or I saw some bald guy on the internet talking about it, we should do it. No, this is giving me something. This is contributing to my growth as a human being. This is why I say and why I get so passionate about this. Sex can be a life-affirming, spiritual, self-improvement experience. It can be there for you. It's like a tool, or it's like a safe space. It's like a place that you can go to, a training ground for a lot of the values, a lot of the principles, a lot of the character stats of your own being that you're trying to level up. Like sex is a beautiful training ground. It really is a safe, or it can be a safe, beautiful training ground for you to level your character up, for you to improve and practice the things that you're working on. Other times you can see sex as this like reward. So you can see it as this like nice, relaxing, rewarding experience that sort of recharges your batteries, especially after a big week of working. I used to do this all the time. I would say to myself, okay, meeting women and having sex, even if it's casual sex, is like the beautiful reward at the end of a really, really, really great week of working on my goals, or going to work and making money or improving myself. I get to meet this, wonderful human being, and we get to have this wild sexual experience. And that's going to help me with my self-improvement journey because it's a nice reward. It's something to look forward to and enjoy and relax and recharge my batteries because I went so hard with my self-improvement. And I would literally work 10 times harder at my goals because I knew that on Friday night, I've booked it in, it's in the calendar with this new girl, we're going on a date and maybe we have sex. Holy fuck, that'll be amazing. Or a girl that I'm already seeing and, we're having casual sex together. I'm seeing her on Saturday, 3 p.m. Today it's Thursday. Okay, if I just bust my ass today and then Friday and then for half of Saturday, if I just go fucking hard, then I get to just really relax and unwind with her. And I can just have this great experience with her and it will really, really, really recharge me. And I would, like I said, work literally fucking 10 times harder at my goals because I knew I had this beautiful reward waiting for me in the form of this sexual experience, this casual, beautiful sexual experience that I'd get to have with this person on Saturday or, whatever day it was going to be. So you can use casual sex as this fuel for your self-improvement journey. You will literally achieve more, become more, improve yourself more, love yourself more because you know you have this lovely experience that you can get excited about. It's the same shit as if you knew that you were seeing your friends on Sunday and you guys were gonna, I don't know, go play mini golf together and then grab hamburgers and, have some beers and have a good weekend. Like, you will work harder at your self-improvement throughout the week, knowing that you get to chill and relax on Sunday. And so the same thing with sex and casual sex. I said this before, but you can have a growth mindset, a self-improvement mindset with sex. You can literally see it as a self-improvement project. So, you can make it tie into other goals as well. I said this before, getting laid can make you a better human being if you use it for these deeper reasons. Like, obviously, if you're just out there trying to get your dick wet and nothing deeper than that, then it might not contribute that much to your self-improvement. But if you use it for those deeper reasons, you can use sex as a way to practice your vulnerability, being honest and open and authentic with someone. That obviously applies to men and women. Maybe it applies even more to women. No, I think it applies pretty equally. Like, for women, you might practice like letting another stranger or another human being, they don't have to be a stranger, but letting another human being see your body and see you in that vulnerable state, opening up to them, telling them some of the kinks that you might have, all of that. For guys, it's being okay with the fact that you're not always the perfect performer. You might get some perfect performance anxiety. You might have erectile dysfunction. You might be nervous. You might think like, fuck, I'm in my head. Sex, casual sex can be a beautiful way to practice that. So can like deeper committed sex, but we're talking mostly about casual sex today. You can use getting laid as a way to practice making others feel amazing. I hinted at this before. You can use getting laid as a way to practice your social skills and connect with another human being. Usually, generally speaking, if you're going to have casual sex, you're probably going on some sort of date or something. That's a chance to practice your social skills. Even after sex, you can lay there in bed together, basking in the afterglow, and you can practice talking about, like what are you working on? What are your goals? What's your life like? What are your hobbies? Like, who are you as a person? You can ask yourselves or each other some deeper questions. What's your meaning of life? If you haven't figured out your meaning of life, which most people haven't, do what I do. I don't know my meaning of life for the entirety of my life. I've just figured out a meaning of life for right now, which I'm pretty happy with, and I stick to that. So mine right now is I just want to help as many people as I can. And I want to learn as much as I possibly can. Those are kind of my two missions for right now, my two purposes for being here. So you can kind of talk through that with the person that you're sleeping with. That's a great way of practicing social skills and connecting with other human beings. You can use sex as a way to get in touch with yourself, right? Your own pleasure, your own thoughts, what's going on up here, your body, the way your penis works, the way your vagina works, the way your clit works, different types of orgasms, different types of edging, things that you never even knew that you would enjoy. Like, I don't know, maybe someone gives you a foot massage. Here's something I've done with so many women. I'll give them a foot massage while, Imogen, my girlfriend, is going down on them. So she's, if you're not familiar, we have threesomes with girls together. She might be going down on the woman, on the girl, and I'm giving her a foot massage, and she goes, holy shit, like that feels like I've never had those two things at once. That's something to explore. You can get the girls to do the same thing with you. People have tried all sorts of crazy shit. It's not crazy, but all sorts of interesting shit during sex that they never would have thought they've known. And you probably don't know the erogenous or the pleasurable zones in your body. So try getting the next person you sleep with to like nibble on your fucking earlobe, just this little bit down the bottom here. Get them to bite your neck, the nape of your neck down here. Get them to like grip the back of your neck, men and women. This can feel good for both of you. For guys, we've never tried a whole lot of shit. For some of you, you might be willing to play or to explore what's known as prostate play, like anal play. Something that I've explored over the last couple of years. And I had all sorts of hesitations around that. Like, aren't I gay for exploring that? Like, doesn't that mean I'm a fag? Like, all of those worries. But I'm super straight. Like, what if, like, all of that kind of shit. If you don't want to explore that and you're not comfortable, beautiful, wonderful. But for some of you, you might try some of that and go, holy fuck, this feels good. How did I never explore any of this shit before? You might just, if that's a little too much for you, you might explore something like having a woman gently caressing your balls or something while she gives you a hand job, or sucking on your balls. And you might be like, Jesus Christ, I've never felt that before. For women, there's lots of erogenous zones in your body that you might have never explored before. You try some of these and you go, holy shit, that feels really good. So sex, casual sex, can be a beautiful way to get to know yourself, to get to know this beautiful body that you've been given, this gift that you have been given. I said it before, but you can use sex as a reward at the end of an awesome day or week or, working on your goals. Sex, I hinted at this before, can be an exploration of spirituality. You can try tantric sex, which is really just going very slow during sex. That's probably the best explanation of it, but there's more to it than that. But it's essentially just very slow sex. You can try BDSM. BDSM is a beautiful way to explore spirituality and connecting to another human being, what it means to be alive, all of that kind of stuff. Shibari, which is really just rope bondage, so tying another person up and all of that kind of stuff. That can be a beautiful way to explore the spiritual side of yourself. You can use getting laid and dating as a way to practice your honesty. Talked about this before a million times. Like, it's a great opportunity for you to be vulnerable, for you to be authentic, for you to be honest, for you to just say what you want instead of playing games and trying to sneak around and get the thing you want. You just say, yo, I like you. Do you want to come back to my place and make out a bit? Rather than, how do I get her back to my place? Or if you're nervous and in your head during sex, rather than going, fuck, like I hope the other person doesn't find out that I'm fucking nervous right now. Oh my God, like I got to do a good job. What if you just use it as a chance to practice saying, I'll be honest with you right now, I'm so in my own head. Like, I'm just fucking nervous. Like, do you ever get nervous during sex? Chances are the other person's going to say, I'm actually really in my head right now and I'm nervous. And you go, cool, do you want to just be like nervous together? And the other person will go, sure, that sounds nice. Let's do it. Great. Now you're fucking connecting with another human being instead of being stuck up here in your own personal hell. You can use this as a chance, or casual sex as a chance to practice building your resilience and being okay with the fact that people might not always give you the thing that you want. You know, you try for casual sex. Do you want to have sex with me? Or do you want to come back to my place and fool around? And they say, no, thank you. That's building up your resilience and being okay with people saying no to you. You're also helping the other fucking person, and you might be helping yourself if you're in this position too. You're helping the other person practice their boundaries, practice being able to say no, or tell you if they don't want to try something, or tell you if they're not feeling it today, or they want to slow down a little bit. You're helping them build their boundaries, and you might be in a position where you say no sometimes, or can we slow down as well? That's you helping build your own fucking boundaries. So there's all these deeper, intrinsic, beautiful reasons for having casual sex. It doesn't have to be this guilt-ridden thing of like, it's shallow, it's not deep. It's like, it can be as deep as you fucking want it to be. I will be clear with this. I'm not always perfect with this shit. I have still, like, there's still been a couple of times over the last couple of years where I've had like throwaway sex, like where it's just like, oh, I just wanted to get my dick wet. And there were no deeper reasons. And so, you know, in those moments, I've sort of felt like I was trying to get something. I was trying to get validation. I was trying to get laid. I was trying to get another notch, like that kind of stuff. So it still occasionally happens with me. That's okay. Like, you don't have to be perfect with this. This isn't about like perfection. For me, I'm just aiming for progress, right? Like each month, or for me, it's like years now. Every year that passes, and for some of you, just think in terms of days or weeks, right? Think a little more short term. But for me, it's like every year that passes, am I just having a little bit less throwaway sex? And am I being a little more intentional, a little more thoughtful, a little more, intentional about the sex that I'm having? Am I doing it for those deeper reasons rather than just getting my dick wet? And so I'm aiming again for progress, not perfection. Obviously, if you would like help with this, I have coaching. There are links in the description below. I have a $200 coaching call, or coaching, which is essentially what this, coaching client of mine that I'm talking about here did. So there's a link to that. We also have a hardcore 12-week coaching program. We would love to see you in that. As always, ladies and gentlemen, go out there, crush those goals, and think about some of those deeper intrinsic reasons why you're crushing those goals. Like, what are the deeper reasons that I want to do this? What is this building towards? Why am I here? Why do I want casual sex? How will this help me as a human being? How will this help this other person in front of me as a human being? Really flesh out those reasons, and you can add to that list over time, but maybe just start with 5 reasons why I want to have casual sex, or 5 reasons why I want to build an elite body, or 5 reasons why I want to make more money, whatever your goal is. Write out 5 reasons, deeper reasons, and then just sort of think about those every day. And especially as you're going to do this thing, like as you're going to work towards this goal, and then just sort of add to that over time. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Hope this was helpful. Deeper reasons, intrinsic motivation, all of that good shit. Love you all very much. Peace.